Ever wondered what it's like to start a new life in a different country? I'm Amadeus and I live in a chateau in rural France, and I'm taking you along on a day with me. Stay tuned because you don't want to miss valuable insights and tips on how to navigate a new culture. I am Amadeus and I'm renovating a 13th century chateau. To be all honest with you, it's just a half. And you're watching my vlog about my new life in France. Let me get my microphone. Oh, I guess there's no better way to start a day than actually having a nice hot coffee in bed while looking out. Welcome to my office, everyone. I thought we'd talk about cultural differences and between the cultures that I know, and one of the cultures that I know the best is Germany. So I did make a few notes about this, not to forget anything. And one of the very first things that came to my mind was the extreme politeness and the polite form. It does exist in Germany as well, the Sie, which is vous in French, but it's a different way to address people, which is a more formal way to do so. But I find in talking with people on a business side and also just like sending out letters, official letters and things like this, the French tend to get lost in a lot of niceties. It's absolutely crazy how many niceties you put in just to put in like one bit of information. So that doesn't really exist in Germany. Not anymore. It's very outdated to do that. It used to be like this, but not anymore. Then one thing that I also know from Polish culture is that everything revolves around food. It's one of those cultures that is just, you know, food is very important, and while you're having a meal, you're talking about the next meal or the meals you had or the recipes you want to try, which absolutely resonates with me. I love eating, I love food, I love cooking. No biggie there. I know it from Poland. Polish people are sort of similar. I don't see it as much in the Germans. I don't know. People are late. Get used to that. People are always late. It's the south of Europe. And especially if you've grown up in a culture like Switzerland or Germany or Austria, German-speaking countries, there is this emphasis on punctuality that just gets embroidered within your DNA once you get into the school system. I'm punctual, I'm over punctual. I try to be there 10 to 15 minutes before, which I know is kind of weird as well. When I used to smoke, I still had a cigarette before. But yeah, that's just, people are late. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. You tell them a different time than the time you're expecting them, actually. Then people take more time for themselves. What do I mean by that? I do mean people like handyman, anybody, any builder that's coming to you, any French person. There's a totally different work-life balance, especially if you come from an English-speaking origin. It is a bit similar but much more extreme than German culture. People are really fond of their private lives and really try to have good private lives. So they take 2 hours of lunch. You try doing anything in France between 12 and 2. Not possible. So yeah, you just get used to it, you go with the flow, and you actually realize that it is beneficial to your mental health. Everything takes twice as long, and this I mean administratively. It's just, get used to lengthy processes. I really thought German bureaucracy was bad until I came to France. That's all I'm saying. Be prepared for long waits, long months and months and months. You know, you've got your new mentality, so it's all good, right? And the last thing that came to my mind, probably there will be like a million other things coming to my mind once I stop filming, but the last thing that came to my mind was actually you can't find real bread. But that's a very German problem to have. Germany is the country of bread, and really good bread, like sourdough bread or full wheat, but real full wheat bread. This is like a compact bread, a bread that has a weight, you know? It just doesn't exist here. I did find some sourdough breads, but they're still very light. They're still very toasty, kind of leaning towards that kind of things. Don't get me wrong, I love a good baguette, but that's one thing that I do miss. Learning French has been a crucial part of my journey, and although it's not easy, it has been very rewarding to know that I'm taking the steps forward. I know from my own experience that learning a new language and having to deal with a new language on all the time is really, really hard, and it's a thing that evolves, and you also get phases where you stagnate. And I've had those plateaus where there's no movement. I don't experience a lot of growth, and I also don't experience decline. But I think it's accepting those plateaus and just learning on and on. One of the things that I've found very helpful is doing Duolingo. I have a Duolingo account, and I have the membership and everything. This video is not sponsored in any way by them, but I have to say that they have been a really good platform to learn. Plus, I really try to engage with everyone in French. And sometimes it's hard because sometimes you judge yourself, or you're really, really self-conscious about it and you're afraid to speak. But I'm here to tell you, local people will always be super supportive if they actually see that you are wanting to and that you're speaking in French. And hey, nobody's perfect. I can see it with my own eyes with my parents. My parents immigrated from Poland to Germany while I was 2 years old. I learned German in kindergarten from other kids and the people who were working there. So I don't really remember a process of learning German, but my parents had to learn German in German courses, and up until this day, you hear that my parents are not German, obviously. I mean, they came in their 30s, or well, my mom was in her mid-20s. But yeah, you will always have a sort of accent, and you will make mistakes. My parents still make mistakes with articles sometimes and things like this, but it is what it is. It's all fine. They communicate, they have friends, they speak really good. It's just like the odd little things, the odd little mistakes that native speaker wouldn't do, just like I do in English as well. I would say my English level is very, very high, and I'm close to a native speaker, but still I do find myself, especially editing those videos, saying things that don't really make sense, or saying things that I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that was just like us building a sentence, thinking in German, you know? And I think it's okay. It does have a charm, I think, to speak with an accent or to speak with little mistakes, as long as you speak, because the more you speak, the better you will get. Just made up the bed for new guests that are arriving in a bit here. They're staying just one night, but I wanted to make up the room and have the room ready. Actually, before those people arrive, I need to get rid of this box. Let's put it in the garage. The garden looks a bit messy right now. I think I will also have to, like, in the next few days, do something about that. But right now, it just feels like I'm running out of time all of the time. Homesickness is a big part of expat life, actually, and something that I did not expect as much to have, because I've been away from home for quite a long time. I left home when I was 16 to pursue my ballet career, so I never really missed home. I have a quite ambivalent weird relationship with my parents, which has grown to be a really close relationship actually now, but it took some time. But I think what helps is being in touch with them. We video call, we call each other. I try to call them almost every day. If I don't manage, at least like every second or every third day at the very least. Try to be in touch with my friends because all my friends are in Germany, and I've always been used to not having my friends where I lived because out of ballet school, everybody just left everywhere. And we formed new friendships. Those friendships got deeper, like with my colleague Katja, who I choreograph with. And yeah, it's never easy, but we also try to talk as much as possible and plan visits. In September, one of my very best friends is going to visit me, and they're coming all the way here with their 2 kids, and I just can't wait to spend a week with them. That creates a lot of difference in the perspective of homesickness. As well, I do miss some aspects of Germany, but actually I think I was pretty much ready to leave the country when I left it. It just takes getting used to, and I think it's also got to do a lot with romanticizing. You romanticize certain things, certain times, that something was easier or not as hard, but if I truly think, and if I truly really accept the ideas of what has happened, then yeah, it has also been really, really hard in Germany as a freelance artist. So nothing has changed here. Oh, you see, right now my parents actually texted me because they are on holiday in, oh so cute, in Holland. That's how we keep in touch. Alexi and me just had lunch, and I'm trying to get everything out of the way before the guests come. I'm like always like before the guests come, because I always feel like I want guests to have like a nice impression. I mean, first impressions count, don't they? Yeah, but I think we've come to the end of this video. Every day as an expat brings new challenges and opportunities as well. Embracing cultural differences, staying connected with home and yourself, and finding joy in the little things make this journey truly special. That's it. If you have other questions about being an expat or about things French, or if you're planning to move and you're not really sure, or if you have any doubts, let me know in the comments below and let's talk. Thank you so much for watching this video. I shall see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for following. Thank you so much for all your lovely comments and input so far. We have grown to be such an amazing community. If you have realized, I'm actually filming this on my Sony a7 III, so I finally got it out again, and I was a bit cautious, or no, cautious is the wrong word. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to bring out this camera, because filming with it's much more effort than actually filming with my phone. But I actually really like the quality of this camera, and I have it there, and it's a really good camera with a cinematic lens. It's been serving me so well for so many projects, so why not use it for YouTube? So I will use it to film a lot of stuff inside the chateau, and then when we're out and about, we'll just use the phone, because also otherwise I need to take a gimbal to stabilize this camera, yada yada yada. Technical talk. I hope you enjoyed it, and all that's left to say is à bientôt et au revoir. Bisous from the southwest of France, and bye!